Hi there, I'm back with a new video. When they announced a few months ago that The Mandalorian and Grogu will be released in 2025, I was really happy because this would be the first Star Wars movie I would take my boys to see. But sadly, that night at the theater will be postponed to May 22nd of 2026, since the movie was pushed back to that date. Personally, I don't mind at all, as long as they make this into a great movie, since this will probably tie in Dave Filoni's version of Heir to the Empire that will connect all the Star Wars Disney Plus series. When this pushback to 2026 could have been avoided, since they're not making a new script for Mando. They're just condensing Season 4 into a movie, which I don't see any harm to that because we'll be avoiding all that filler. This pushback could end up being something really helpful for the production, since they can use that extra year to make a better movie. The problem here is not Mando, but the other Star Wars movie that was announced and will be directed by Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy. You remember her.
Oh, absolutely. I like to make men uncomfortable. I enjoy making men uncomfortable.
With Daisy Ridley reprising her role from the sequel trilogy. Once Mando got delayed, Rey's new Jedi Order got kicked out of Disney's schedule, leaving us to wonder what's gonna happen with this movie. At the same time, Scott Gustin tweeted on X the new Disney film release calendar for 2024 and beyond. For 2024, as we already knew, there was no Star Wars movie to be released, and that goes for 2025 as well, since The Mandalorian got delayed. For 2026, we got the date that The Mandalorian and Grogu was pushed back to 26th of May, and the second date for 2026 is the 18th of December, which is an undefined Star Wars project. This spot is either gonna be a placeholder that will be given to another Disney project, or it may be James Mangold's movie, The Dawn of the Jedi, but this is practically all speculation. But many news outlets that I have read in these last days have contradicted themselves. Now this leaves us with one scheduled release for Star Wars in 2027, which could butt heads with Dave Filoni's version of Heir to the Empire. I would say everything is still in motion, and any assumption about the release dates now is kind of sketchy to say at least. The only thing I'm sure is that the Rey movie will be delayed but not cancelled. Daisy Ridley also gave an interview about her coming back to Star Wars, so let's see that too. Daisy Ridley on decision to return for a Rey-focused movie. I feel more like I'm owning it. In a new interview, Daisy Ridley discusses her return as Rey Palpatine and whether her discussion to reprise her Star Wars sequel trilogy role was a difficult one. It's clear that she came back for a paycheck, since her career after Star Wars hasn't been doing well. Every movie she was a lead in has tanked in the box office. But let's see what she actually said. I suppose I feel more like I'm owning it. I suppose I owned it in the first time. Basically, I'm an adult now. I certainly did not feel like an adult at the time. Obviously, personally, things have changed, and professionally, I have lots of other experiences, and so I definitely feel like it's a different thing this time. There's just a lot of joy with me and these films. Honestly, if I wasn't excited, I wouldn't have done it. It feels like a great thing to be a part of. If it's gonna be like the sequel trilogy, then we're up for a bumpy ride. It's not Daisy Ridley's fault, it's Lucasfilm not being able to plan out a storyline, and that's what it looks like to me when they had announced a movie having no script prior to its announcement. The Rise of Skywalker was a moderate box office hit. Oh god, these guys are dreaming. But it was the worst reviewed film of the sequel trilogy, and you'd be hard pushed to find a Star Wars fan who would rate it particularly highly. For many, the movie was so disappointing that it tarnished the entire trilogy. Yeah. If it was only The Rise of Skywalker. With this in mind, was returning to the franchise a difficult decision for Ridley? It wasn't. I didn't say yes right away. Kathy was like, take as long as you need. Not that it took that long to say yes. Why wouldn't I? Yes, they have been divisive, but also they bring a lot of love and joy to a lot of people. It feels pretty amazing to be able to continue a character like, can I even remember how to play her? It's an interesting challenge as an actor to come back to something and try to figure out what's changed for me and what's changed for her. Though she was a bit skeptical about coming back, so practically it wasn't an easy decision. If you all can remember, Rey was a stoic person that didn't say much or even emote much. So how hard can it be, unless they gave her some character development finally this time around? But with Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy as the director of this project, I don't think that's gonna happen. So what do you all say? Is the new Rey movie gonna be cancelled? Or it's just gonna be delayed? Write it down in the comments section below. And don't forget to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you and have a good one.